the season?
Very much so. I think it's always the same, you know, as soon as the fixtures are released, everybody looks to when the derbies are, and clearly the two sides are in very good form at the moment. I think very different situation to the last time we met. You know, I think we were bottom and second bottom the last time we did, so very different place. But as I've said already this week and reminded the players as well, that's irrelevant going into derbies. It's about understanding the magnitude of the game, which is always there. But even if we were in different divisions, the rivalry is there, the competitiveness behind it, what it means to the city, the supporters and everything that goes with that. So it's a fantastic game to look forward to, and that's the message to the players, which is, you know, these are the games you want to play in.
Looking back on the league tables, the last two meetings, the first one here at Easter Road, two teams were both on 6 points down the bottom of the league. Just how much did that hit home, this run of form, the turnaround that this side has had?
It's been brilliant. I reminded the players that this morning actually, when you think back to even just in February, you know, the fixtures we've played and the difficulty of the games, but the returning points, the run we're on at the moment, especially after the start we made, we've gave ourselves a brilliant opportunity because we've had to go on that run. You know, that's an incredible run we've been on, but when you still look at how tight the table is, it just shows you how difficult that run is and how proud we are of what we've done. But as I've always said, we keep moving forward, we need to keep progressing, we need to keep improving because we've still got a lot to do, and there's still a lot of huge games between now and the split before anything's decided, and then from that moment then, once we see where we are, we can start looking up the way from there.
Huge amount of mental strength required to go on a run like this as well. How key is that going into a derby?
It is key, especially when you think back to what the group's been through. I think that's the biggest thing from it. You know, we've been through real adversity this season, and that was obviously challenging, but the togetherness it was built through that, the momentum that we've gained now with the winning streak we've been on, and the character's been questioned a lot in recent, especially the start of the season, and I've said this many times about it being questioned and the character and the mental strength required. We've answered that in recent weeks fantastically well. I think when you think back to how we've been playing, at times not being at our fluent best but finding results, and then even at the weekend, Wednesday night up at Tannadice, real difficult game, and going a goal down but coming back and winning the game at a real difficult venue. So no, listen, we're in a real good place, but we know this game's very much the next challenge and about trying to catch Aberdeen because they're the team ahead of us now, and nothing changes on that point of view.
As you said, it's a fixture that stands alone. What does it mean to you in this group, being ahead in the table, having the bragging rights, kind of, you know, being on top in this rivalry at the moment?
No, I don't think you look at it from that point of view. I think we're very much looking at it from where we need to get to and where we want to get to in the league, and how quickly can we cement that place in the top six. And from where we've been, as I've said all along, I've been very consistent all season about what we need to get to, what our objectives are, and that hasn't changed. Naturally, for everything that goes with the two clubs in the one city, you want to be the team on top. You know what it means to both sets of supporters, and I know that more than anybody growing up in the city and having played in these games. They're fantastic games to be involved in, and now as a coach sitting on the other side, as a manager, I'm thoroughly enjoying them as well. So as I say, these are the games when they come around you kind of wish you were playing, to be honest, but it's something that as a player thoroughly enjoyed them, and that's the message to the players. These are the games you need to look forward to, and from everything that goes with it this weekend, for where the two teams are, what's at stake for everyone involved, it's a fantastic opportunity and great game to look forward to.
We've had some brilliant moments with the fans after victories, both at Easter Road and away. Tynecastle obviously stands out, Sunshine on League the other week. Is that a driver for these guys?
It is.
Talk about it, you know,
no, we are. We're talking about that togetherness, and I think a lot of that's been built on, you know, the poor start and where we found ourselves and how difficult these moments were, constantly being questioned and you know, dealing with that adversity. But when you see the scenes, obviously you've talked about Sunshine on Leith for the first time for some of the players to experience that. Winning at Tynecastle for the first time in 5 years was huge, and then even just the scenes at Dundee United, you know, Tannadice at the full-time whistle, or even how many times with the VAR goal delaying, so celebrating it initially, then going and celebrating it again, and everybody running directly to the fans. I think when Kieran Bowie hits the back of the net, the bench erupts as well and runs towards the fans, you know, so you really feel it. And I think we're seeing that in the performances as well. So look at the game against Dundee United, subs coming on and affecting the game, players who'd maybe not played as many minutes coming in and really affecting the game because the group is really tight. Everybody feels part of it, and that helps with winning games as well and the momentum it's building. So we certainly can't go into the game in any better place than we are at the moment, but nothing changes in terms of what we need to achieve moving forward.
Hearts are on a really good run as well. The They've brought in some players in January who had an impact. Are they a different prospect to prepare for now than they were on Boxing Day?
Yeah, they'll have different challenges. I think every team's got their own challenges, and like you've just rightly said there, from the turn of the year, I think they've lost one game since the turn of the year, so in very good form themselves. But as I've already touched on, I think we could be in different divisions. We could be a pre-season friendly. These games always take care of themselves, and the form book goes out the window. It's about who settles on the day, who wants it more on the day, and who performs best on the day. But as you've already touched on there, both sets of supporters will go into the game fancying their chances because of the running form each team's on.
David, you mentioned it there. How much are you missing playing in games like this, and how special are they to be a part of?
Well, they're very special to be a part of, 100%. As I've already said, as soon as the calendar comes out, you look at the fixtures, you see where they are. It's always round about the Christmas time one as well. You always look to see who's at home, who's away, round about Christmas, Boxing Day or New Year's, round about the times. Missing it as a player, there's moments when you do, and there's other moments where I certainly don't miss it. Even when I join in training every couple of minutes, not even join in, but kick the ball in training, they hurt for 3 days after it, so I'm certainly not able to play anymore. But it's probably something I talked about with my dad when I stopped playing, was you're a long time retired and you'll miss it. And these are probably the days when you hear the atmosphere, you feel the noise and the build-up before the game, that there's special moments as players, and I think that's what we need to get the message to the players, that these sort of games don't come around all the time, and the moments you get, if you're successful at the end of them, are memories that I've had, very fortunate to have, that live with you forever. So I think, as I say, a brilliant game for everyone to look forward to.
Given that atmosphere, given the full allocation that Hearts will have, is this the best derby in Scotland for you? I
think it's brilliant. I'm biased because I grew up in the city, but I think you just touched on there. So things like the away support, getting right behind the goal, really adds to the atmosphere. Especially when we go to Tynecastle, being your away support being right behind the stand there and filling it out. Now I understand that can't always be achieved, and possible for health and safety reasons and everything else that comes with that. But I think it really adds to the atmosphere and really adds to the occasion. And as I've already said, it'll be a brilliant one at the weekend because of where two clubs find themselves. They're on the form we're on, they're on the form they're on, and just the magnitude of the two cities and what it means to both sets of supporters. So a brilliant game.
How different is the build-up to a game like this? You mentioned the magnitude of this fixture. Is it even possible to treat it like a normal game?
I think you don't want to get carried away in it as well. So it is about managing the expectations of the players and making sure they're aware of it. The fact this is the third time we've played them is better for the players because they know exactly what to expect now. It's not as if it's the first time we've met. Some players who've joined the club, especially our squad, only really Alessandro met us, obviously joined us in January, so he's the only one that's never really experienced a derby before. So we have got a bit of experience in that front, so they know exactly what to expect. It is about the team that can be calm in the chaos, because there's always all sorts of chaos that goes on within the game. So it is about managing that and having the right mentality to be able to deal with that, but also playing with that intensity and desire that is always going to be there in the derby.
These games can change in a matter of minutes. This Hibs team could find themselves down at the break. How important is it for people to step up and leaders to be out there on the park?
It's always important, every game, regardless of it being a derby, any game. I think we've just demonstrated that on Wednesday night. Going a goal behind, that can happen in football. Of course it can. It can be a mistake. It can be good play for the opposition. It's about how you react to the moments, and I think recently we've demonstrated we can do that really well. Clearly we want to start the game as well as we can and try and get on the front foot. We've been at home, you want to try and impose yourself on the opposition. But like I've already said, it's more about making sure the team that settles quicker and can make sure the players are prepared well enough to know exactly what to face, or what they're going to face, but also one they need to look forward to.
Junior Hoylett's at the latter stages of his playing career. Is he still making an important contribution as far as you're concerned?
Is he still making? I think he clearly is. He comes on, how it affects the game. Comes on, but you don't play the amount of games he's played and have the career he's had without having a level of professionalism and quality that he's clearly got and shows every single day. And then, fortunately for me, to be able to turn to him at the week on Wednesday night and be able to bring him on shows how he contributed to the game, his calmness, his composure, and then he goes and scores the goal, so massively contributing. Personally for him, he'll want to play more minutes than he has done in recent weeks. It's natural because every player wants to play. But again, it's why he was brought to the football club, about how he can affect games. He's certainly shown that when he gets the opportunity. But he's doing it every single day in the building, every single day with the younger players, training standards all the time. And we're very lucky to have players like Junior, like Gailey, like Jordan Abita, experienced boys that have played at a high level around the younger group as well. So we've got a real good balance on that front.
Is there any update on Ellie you have?
Yeah, both have trained fully. Well, I say fully this week, it's obviously 3 games in a week, so there's not been a lot of training being done. but both trained today as part of the group, didn't play obviously, and both came through that, so they'll be available if selected, for the squad.
Any other squad?
The only one that's not definitely ruled out will be Joe Neal. He's the only one. Everybody else, clearly we've had 3 games, well this will be the 3rd game in the week, there's a bit of fatigue through bumps and bruises from the game, but hopefully we've came through that alright.